She is probably the most iconic African woman who ever lived, and she's here in Berlin. The world-famous bust of Nefertiti, Queen of Egypt, first went on display in the German capital 100 years ago. That might sound like ancient history, but her beauty spent more than 3,000 years slumbering in her homeland where she was entombed many centuries ago. Now, an Egyptian archaeologist has launched a petition calling on Germany to return the famous artwork. The painted limestone bust was discovered near Cairo by German archaeologists in 1912. It's the most popular artifact in Berlin's Neues Museum. Nefertiti reigned in the 14th century BC and may have been the mother of the famed boy king, Tutankhamun. And we can welcome to the show prominent Egyptian archaeologist and former antiquities minister, Dr. Zahi Hawass, who joins us from the Cairo airport. Dr. Hawass, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you very much.
Why do you believe the Nefertiti bust should be returned to Egypt after more than a century in Germany?
Because we have evidence. We collected this evidence in 2010 that the bust of Nefertiti was taken illegally out of Egypt. And I sent a letter on January 2nd, 2011 to the director of museums in Germany to ask for the return of the bust of Nefertiti. But he answered back that this letter should be signed by the Minister of Culture. In that time, I became a minister, but I did not have the time actually to think of Nefertiti. But now I see there is awakening among European museums, and even President Macron of France announced that they destructed the monuments of Africa. It's a time to return the monuments of Africa back. And Ethiopia and Greece are asking the British Museum now to bring artifacts back. It is time. This Nefertiti is unique. I'm not asking for all the artifacts from Berlin Museum to come to Egypt. I'm asking only for one artifact, the bust of Nefertiti, to come back to be shown in the British Museum. Actually, in the Grand Museum, I'm sorry. But actually, many people now, all over the world, are supporting me. Many people think that the bust of Nefertiti home should be the Grand Museum and not Berlin.
This is what the Germans say, and it's going to take me a moment. I want our viewers to understand all of it. The bust is here in Berlin because Egyptian authorities allowed it. In 1912, there was a deal. Let me finish the thought so that the viewers are with us, sir. In 1912, they argue there was a deal. One, a wealthy German financed an excavation. Two, in exchange, some 10,000 artifacts would be split 50-50. Three, not only that, but a representative for the Egyptians selected their half while the Germans went home with the other pieces, among them the bust. What is your response to that? Because there are those who would say you're trying to renege on a deal that the parties at the time appeared to think was fair.
I do have the evidence to show the bust was found in 1912 by Burckhardt. In that time, there was a law that no royal statues made of limestone to be taken out of Egypt at all. Burckhardt wrote in his diary that he's the only one can see this is a statue of Nefertiti made of limestone. In the registered book that everyone can see, he wrote non-royal statue made of gypsum. In 1913, the head of antiquities, who was French, came to make the division 50-50. He found that they put a box containing hundreds of artifacts, and Nefertiti was hidden inside. He never looked inside the box. And Burckhardt took the statue and he hid it in his home for 10 years until he showed it, I think, in 1945. And the Americans who were protecting the German painting tried to help Egypt to return it back because this was stolen, but Hitler refused to return it back. I do have all the documents based on my letter that I sent to Germany in 2011 that this bust left Egypt illegally. What you are telling me, it is not true at all.
So to be clear about this, how do you view the bust's current status in Berlin? You consider it stolen?
Of course. I do have documents that this bust of Nefertiti left Egypt illegally. It should come back.
What's been the response from German authorities and the Neue Museum to your petition?
This petition has been announced 3 days ago.
Right.
And I'm waiting. I have to know that we sent already in 2010 an official letter from the Egyptian government approved by the Prime Minister to return the bust of Nefertiti back.
What's your recourse if Germany continues to resist repatriation of the bust? I understand you haven't sent this petition out to the German government now, but there has been some discussion about this bust in particular before this time. Germany has not come forward to say that they have any intention of returning this bust. So if they continue to resist, what will be your recourse?
We will make an international popular awareness because we will tell people how Germany can keep a stolen artifacts. We will write to schools in Germany. We'll write to everyone that this is not fair to have a stolen artifact in your museum.
Dr. Hawass, clarify something for me. We understand that you're having people sign a petition on your personal website. Why is it on your site as opposed to some official Egyptian government website? Does the Egyptian government support your efforts?
This petition is completely popular among the Egyptian people and all the people all over the world. And the Egyptian government are supporting my campaign to return stolen artifacts back to Egypt. I'm not asking for all the artifacts to come back from Berlin. I'm asking only for this unique piece to be shown in the Grand Museum.
Besides the Nefertiti bust, we understand you're also advocating for the return of the Rosetta Stone and the Dendera Zodiac. Why are these artifacts particularly significant to... Sir, let me finish my questions to you, okay? Why are these artifacts significant to Egypt's cultural heritage?
These three pieces are very important. Rosetta Stone is the icon of our Egyptian identity. The zodiac was taken by a French thief. He cut it from the ceiling of the Temple of Dendera. The bust of Nefertiti were taken out of Egypt. These three pieces are important to us as Egyptians. Their home should not be the British, England, or France, or Germany. Their home should be Egypt.
Let's look at the Ashanti gold. The UK returned precious artifacts looted from Ghana after 150 years, I should say, but on a long-term loan. What do you think of that idea?
You know, I asked in 2010 to have this bust of Nefertiti for 3 months at the opening of the Grand Museum, and the director of the museum refused. We had a peaceful relationship. It is the museum who made us to be angry and to think that this is our monuments. How we cannot have it for a loan for 3 months at the opening of the Grand Museum.
That is a prominent Egyptian archaeologist and former antiquities minister, Dr. Zahi Hawass. Many thanks for your perspective, sir, and for your time.
Thank you.